I want to give a little love, or maybe a whole lot of love, to one of my favorite early Beatles songs today, and that's the song I'll Get You. I just love that song. It has a wonderful personality and such a great energy to it. And what do I mean by great energy? Well, think about it for a minute. 1962 and 1963, when these early Beatles songs were written and recorded, that was a time when John, Paul, George, and Ringo were not too far removed from those rough and tumble days in Hamburg, their early rock and roll roots. And so here you have these four young, vigorous, energetic men singing and performing these very straightforward melodic love songs pretty much live in the studio. So these songs, there's not a whole lot of layers to them. And so that means there's not a whole lot of layers between these four young men and the audience. And so you have all that love and all that energy, all that magic and chemistry right there in the room with you, and you can feel that. And so no wonder at those live performances, the girls just went crazy, and that's the energy I'm talking about. And that's also the personality I'm talking about, the chemistry between the four of them, how much fun they're having, and they are having fun, but they're also like hungry, because they're at that point in time, 1962 and 1963, they're working hard to get to the top. They're in the studio experimenting, trying new things, and they have had a little bit of success, with the song Please Please Me. And so, they're cocky.
We were very cheeky, yeah.
And it's okay to be a little bit cocky then, because you got to believe in yourself to get to the top. And like I said, they're having a blast. And the song Please Please Me, that definitely was a breakout song for them. And I think that was the Beatles getting outside the box, being their authentic selves, doing things the way that they wanted to do. And that was a secret to their success. And then I think, my opinion only, is with the song From Me to You, they got back inside the box a little bit, kind of playing it safe somewhat. Good song. I do love it. There's some cool things going on with it. But it's no Please Please Me. And it's also not the song I'll Get You. With the song I'll Get You, I think the Beatles are once again getting outside the box, doing things the way that they wanted, having a lot of fun. It's a very sweet song, but it's also a little salty. And it's also one of those songs that has this feel to it that like something is about ready to happen, because it takes you on like this nice little ride, but there's also something else going on with it that you can't quite put your finger on. And I think it's because the fact that the Beatles thought this was going to be their next hit. Until they wrote the song She Loves You. And then, of course, the rest is history, basically. And then I'll Get You became the B-side of She Loves You. And speaking of the song She Loves You, I think that they took a few elements from the song I'll Get You, amped them up a notch or two, and put them in the song She Loves You. Like, for instance, in the beginning where I'll Get You begins with, oh, yeah, oh, yeah. We all know the beginning of She Loves You. It has, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then when you have that chord change to build up tension in I'll Get You, it's not like me to pretend. They also kind of do the same thing, build up a little tension before a payoff with, and you should be glad, woo. So way amped up with She Loves You. So again, just my opinion. But the Beatles, like I said, they thought this was going to be their next single, so this was a special song. It is a special song. What am I saying? It is. And like I said, the early Beatles songs, not all of them really go anyplace. They're just a fun ride, and and I'll Get You is definitely no different. But it is a lovely ride. You're having a lot of fun. There's some bumps along the way. It does go someplace. It makes you feel things, okay? Because it does have some layers to it. The layers being, the John and Paul either singing in unison or singing in harmony. You have John's harmonica, kind of bluesy, setting this tone all the way through. It's kind of droning all the way through. It's almost setting a bottom to the song. And it's a lovely melody. Like, imagine I'm in love with you. And then they have a little bit of tension. This is that buildup I'm talking about. A lot of the early songs, they have a buildup, just like with Please Please Me. Come on, come on. So it has that buildup, for that emotional payoff. And that's what happens with this song, I'll Get You. It has that buildup. And they're using this new chord change that they discovered. It's not like me to pretend, but I'll get you. And then it has that payoff of like, I'll get you. But right underneath that chord change of pretend, you have Paul's bass right there underlining it, as well as John's harmonica. So it's underlining, that nice tension right there before the payoff. So there's some cool stuff going on. They're manipulating our emotions. I mean, come on, guys, they're the Beatles. That's what they do. They're geniuses at that. That's why we keep on going on this ride, this little 2-minute ride again and again and again. And the whole song, it does build up like that because, when they sing that chorus 3 times, each time they sing the chorus, they sing with increasing energy. So by the time they sing, It's Not Like Me to Pretend, the very last time, they go like, but I'll get you in the end. And they're smiling when they're singing that, but like the 3rd time around. And also they build up to that middle 8. That middle 8 is lovely because, of course, you have John and Paul harmonizing, and then you have George joining the party, and so you get that Beatley 3-part harmony. And if you really want to hear that harmony where George kind of jumps around all over the place with his vocals, listen to the BBC recording of it. It's wonderful. And also, another great version of this song, I'll Get You, is Paul doing it live in 2005. Now, he kind of has, it's groove. Paul's version is really grooving. Imagine I'm in love with you. And it has a harmonica too, a little bit stronger harmonica. So the Beatles knew exactly what they were doing in those early days. I mean, songs, they don't have to go anyplace. They just have to make you feel something. And the Beatles were the best at that. So I'm giving a lot of love, not just to the song I'll Get You, but a lot of those early Beatles songs. So thank you so much for being here with me today. I really and truly appreciate it. And also thank you for putting up with my singing. And until next time, peace and love one another. Take care.
Beatles is Beatles are Beatle. In the end, it's like, oh, sod off with the Beatles,